We're learning new information about the victims in this week's mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine. Police said Friday many of the victims were deaf or part of that community. A cornhole tournament was being held at one of the locations at the time of the shooting. Meanwhile, authorities are still searching for the suspect. 40-year-old Robert Card is a member of the U.S. Army Reserve. He is considered armed and dangerous. Card also has a history of mental health issues. Police in Maine say he allegedly opened fire on a bowling alley and a restaurant in Lewiston Wednesday night. CBS News national correspondent Jericka Duncan reports.
Helicopters and divers using sonar technology today searched the Androscoggin River for any sign of 40-year-old Army reservist Robert Card.
While this is going to look like a major focus today with a lot of people, we have a lot of other irons in the fire.
Investigators are looking for evidence near this boat launch in Lisbon, where police found Card's abandoned white Subaru. Authorities say they've received more than 530 leads from Wednesday night shooting at a bowling alley and bar in Lewiston. Today, officials announced that the 18 victims who were killed in the shootings range in age from 14 to 76, including Bill Young and his son Aaron, who was a high school freshman, and 4 members with connections to a local deaf community group. Tracy Walker's husband, Joey, was a manager at Shemenji's Bar and Grill. A witness told her he confronted the shooter.
They told us that my husband went into the kitchen and grabbed a butcher knife and went after him to save the patrons that were in his establishment.
But Walker was shot in the stomach and later died.
You wouldn't want to go out any other way. That's exactly who he is as a man. He'd give you the shirt off his back.
He's a hero and he died protecting, and that's who he is.
Hundreds of federal, state, and local law enforcement officers are processing every inch of the 2 crime scenes for evidence and a motive. CBS News has confirmed that Robert Card left a letter at his home in Maine that's being described as a possible suicide note addressed to his son.
When you heard about his background and that there were red flags regarding his behavior, his mental health.
He said he wanted to harm people. At that point, they should have went in and removed his weaponry.
Do you think the system failed you all?
Yes.
Yep. I think it's been failing the whole country.
Yeah.
This keeps happening. Nothing is being done.
And Jericka Duncan joins us now from Lewiston, Maine. Jericka, what additional information are you hearing from law enforcement about the search?
Well, you know, they did lift that stay in home, the shelter. They rescinded that. So people are moving around. I'm seeing a little bit more traffic out here. I saw some activity in a bar across the street that I haven't seen any lights on. So you wonder if some businesses are considering opening up possibly tomorrow. As far as the investigation is concerned, they are still looking for Robert Card. You know, they spent a lot of time today at 2 news conferences explaining where they were going to be looking. As you heard in the piece, dive teams using helicopters and whatnot. They're still asking for the residents here to be vigilant. They want people to know that even though they have rescinded this shelter-in-place order, they still don't have the person that they believe is responsible for these horrific mass shootings. So they're asking for the public's help, but you're starting to see things sort of lift up in terms of as a law enforcement agencies are confirmed. State police will be out here, of course, to continue to search those areas that they spoke about earlier today, really focusing on the Androscoggin River, which is just west of us, but that river is over 170 miles long.
That's right. Earlier on the stream, we dipped into that live news conference from the Maine officials, and they put up a new picture of the suspect, Robert Card, and they told everyone to look very closely at the eye color, the hair color, the facial structure. What else are you learning through your reporting about this suspect?
Interestingly enough, Catherine, in speaking to several people here who were either at the bar or know people who were at the bar, not the bowling alley, but the second location where the shooter was, said that they recognized this man. People in this community said he went to that bar before and had played cornhole. So even before that second picture that you're describing went out to the public, folks who saw those initial pictures of him going into the bowling alley, going into the restaurant and bar, and pointing his gun, knew that face. They recognized him. So again, Some folks trying to figure out, what was the motivation? Why did he target these two places? Investigators still not giving answers when asked about that as well today. But the community, I think, is just so closely knit. They're tight. They either know people who were directly impacted, or as I've said before, they know someone who either was at the hospital or lost their lives.
Jericka, Duncan, thank you for bringing us that new reporting from Lewiston, Maine. The search for Card involves hundreds of law enforcement personnel on the local, federal, and state level. CBS News Chief National Affairs and Justice Correspondent Jeff Pegues has more on that part of the investigation.
A curtain of darkness has fallen over this search area behind me. Investigators have been here throughout the day. They've been searching the shoreline. They've been searching in the water with sonar, looking for evidence of Robert Card. In the meantime, they've been serving warrants as well, looking for information from his cell phones, his computers, any type of digital footprint that they can find. They've been getting a lot of help from the community as well. More than 530 tips have come in so far, and these are tips that investigators need as they try to track down the suspect. It's been more than 48 hours now, and as they've acknowledged today, every minute that passes, you increase the likelihood of the trail going cold. Catherine.
Jeff Pegues, thank you for the new reporting.